The Yellow Brick Road. This video does not reflect the actual views of real people. These are actors playing a role to entertain audiences. No persons or animals were harmed in the making of this video. Gosh, I love YouTube and I love Google.
Live from Antarctica.
Soundcheck, soundcheck. Check 1, 2. Check, check. We're back to critique some sophisticated ideas.
Whoa.
This one involves a turd and a monkey. It's a parable. It's a life lesson about survival and throwing away your principles to You never do like the strong
Yeah. It's a
same of Arn Anderson.
my thumb ring gets in the way. Arn was the fucking dude.
Yeah. So you're gonna hear some philosophy from the monkey himself. No Kramer. I just said monkey. I didn't say turd throwing. Turd hurling.
Play video.
Turd throwing.
Well, what I did was passing. Kind of like a shuffle pass. Shuffle pass.
Let's hear some wisdom from a monkey. Monkey. All right.
Damn. I like it. If I have my hair long again, I can just go.
Too much of like a wrestling theme song sounding for me.
You don't like it?
It's too wrestling theme song
You
sounding.
don't listen to metal or whatever.
It's not. Yeah.
It's a generic thing for. I don't know where he got it from, but
Yeah, I have no idea.
I like it.
I'm guessing it's like a friend or a fan
I like it.
or just a band he likes who takes the red pill because they understand what the red pill is.
The cat must be in the Illuminati. Look at that. Showing one eye. Bottom left hand corner. Look.
Oh shit! I didn't even see that.
He's like,
No wonder he's sneaking in the corner somewhere. All right, let's analyze this video. Highly sophisticated philosophy from Turd Flinging Monkey. Applause, applause. Yes, quiet applause and yeah.
Hey everyone, this is Turd Flinging Monkey. This is a little bit of a follow-up to a previous video I did called My Principles. So, to get started, we're going to kind of paint a picture to demonstrate the point I'm going to make. So, I want you to imagine you're on like a ship that's sinking like the Titanic. And there's one lifeboat left, but it can only hold 10 people. Now, there are 20 people trying to get on the lifeboat. If nobody stops them, the lifeboat is going to sink, and all 20 people, including you, are going to drown. You simply cannot let all 20 people onto the lifeboat, or you will all die.
Most importantly, you will die. That's what's important here.
You can only fit a maximum of 10 people on the lifeboat. You're going to effectively have to convince people to die, or you're going to have to force them to die. This is called murder. Let's just say for the sake of this experiment, you cannot convince them to stay behind and die. So either you let them on the boat, or they're going to force themselves onto the boat, and then everyone will die. So you decide to take things into your own hands. In order to save at least 10 people, including yourself, you murder 10 people. How you decide who lives and who dies is irrelevant. So you murdered 10 people to save 10 people. You get on the lifeboat with the other 9 people, and you begin to float away. Now, as you're floating away, awaiting rescue, you hear the other people in the boat, the people who didn't do anything, the people who stood by and let you murder 10 people, knowing it would save them. They knew it had to be done. They refused to get their hands dirty. They let you get your hands dirty. And now that the deed is done, you hear them murmuring behind your back about how as soon as they get rescued, they're going to turn you in for the murder of those 10 people, even though you did it to save them.
I mean, this sounds like a horrid scenario, yet somehow sounds realistic in this world. That sounds like a possibility in this world. Somehow.
Listen, you're the one people that's going to have to be killed. Because, it's about me.
Yes.
Yes.
You need this knowledge to carry on. The turd must float. The rest must sink. Right.
Even though it had to be done or everyone was going to die, and even though they refused to get their hands dirty, they are going to turn you in for murder because you did what had to be done to save their lives. Now, I want you to put yourself in the shoes of that person who did what had to be done.
No.
In order to save the lives of as many people as that could possibly be saved. And ask yourself, what would you do? What would you do to the very people you wanted to save? And now they're betraying you out of a sense of some kind of guilt. Like if they punish you, that makes up for the fact that they did nothing to save themselves. Now, while you're thinking about what you would do in that scenario, I want to play a clip from a video from a YouTube channel called The Asian Capitalists.
Us on the side of the pragmatic libertarians see you wusses over on the idealist side and say, this is gonna end like the last 30 years. This is gonna end like that. You're just gonna keep talking, we're not gonna get shit done. Like nothing is ever gonna get done. We're just gonna talk about this great society that we're gonna have, but we're never gonna have it because we're not gonna do anything. You fuckers are too scared to get blood on your hands to do anything.
Right.
It's not the fact that we think you're wrong. It's the fact that we don't think anything is ever gonna get done with your methodology. It's, look at the last 30 years. Like, libertarianism isn't something that popped up in the last couple of years. We've had forever and a day to get shit started, to build stuff so people would come. But we didn't build anything, so nobody came.
Yeah.
Like I said, in every revolution, there needs to be 2 types of people. Those who commit the atrocity necessary for victory, who will be punished to the full extent of their crimes after the war is won, and those who lead the way to the future, who becomes the new status quo afterwards.
Who's that supposed to be? Is that like Kissinger or something?
I don't fucking know, and I hope not.
Was that, what's the dude? There's like commercials, the science dude. Or, no, he made like a counter documentary to Bill Maher's Religulous. Like Stein or something?
I don't know, dude.
Whatever.
This is just...
He did the eye clearing thing. Shit,
I don't remember his name.
Yeah, whatever.
I can see the bad side. I can see what idealist libertarians are worried about, though. And that is if those people who go through the pipeline don't come back to libertarianism afterwards. They drop their libertarian principles and never come back to them.
Yeah, but is this their fault or libertarians' fault?
It seems more like saying nothing. A lot of these guys seem like Marvel movies, where it's like a lot of action and flashing lights and eye candy. Like they have good quality and animation there. It's like, oh, I can pay attention to this. It's stimulating my eyeballs. I can look from here to here to here to here. There's shit going on constantly. But the content is just dry and empty. It's a fucking...
One, it's very easy.
Dried out mummy.
Very easy to digest, you know?
It's a dried out mummy. It's fucking old ass ideas.
It's very, like, yeah, guys, this is what it is. This is how it is. It's like, no, it ain't.
Anarcho-capitalists.
It's like...
I learned this in college.
I really, really hope it's not like, viewing everything through like a political lenses.
I think it's partially that and partially just academia. things they learned in college, and they're spouting it back out in different forms.
Like, guys, like if what, like, I'm gonna make up this scenario. I'm gonna tell you how you would react and how people would react. Okay, now you're. It's like the thing I heard at Harvard. You know, what was it? The moral side of what? Murder.
Yeah.
There is none.
Exactly.
You can't. It doesn't make there is none.
They're contradictory in nature. As they're contradictory. All right, let's continue. This isn't about those guys. This is about.
No, I'm just comparing the
Scarface monkey.
It's like justifying tyranny. It's like no.
Well, let's hear some more context.
Now that video is fairly old, and the reason why I'm bringing it up, what inspired me to finally make this video, was some tweets I saw from Raging Golden Eagle. And I'll put them up on the screen. It says from Raging Golden Eagle, type of cuck, part 1, all talk, no walk. Oh my fucking god, these guys are invading us. Yeah, let's fight back. Given a gun so he can join the fight. Wait, you don't expect me to do anything more than virtue signal, do you? You guys are just as bad and extreme as the attackers.
Let's hear the, not a feminine voice, but a effeminine voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my god, blah, 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 blah. You guys are soft. Grab your gun. Just kidding. No.
Now I responded that those guys will also be the first to call for your head when you actually take the required actions yourself. And then in a later response to another person, he writes, that's why I fucking hate virtue signalers. I don't virtue signal because I know we are both in the same mud pit throwing mud at each other. Yet these idiots seem to think they are standing on top of some ivory tower looking down at us in the mud.
Yes, this mud pit I created for myself. Yes, we're both just as bad. Yes. Like, dude, you made that yourself. Like, remember, like, oh, like you feel tall, huh? It's like, whatever you think, whatever little vision you created for yourself, go ahead.
That's how you get things done. If you want to get things done, and let's say you're looking for some hopeful future for yourself, what you need to is see that self part, just throw that away, and then you do what you got to do. Somehow you'll still be yourself when you reach that goal, or you might be miserable.
And the required actions is a little silly as well. What's required of me? Like what? Murdering myself?
No, you need to throw yourself away so you can get to that point.
How highly contradictory.
Yes. Yeah, the you won't be you anymore. Do you see that? Do you see why there's a different look on guys' faces when they're American freedom, we gotta go fight the terrorists. They go over there, see some action, and come back, and their face might be a little different. Their expressions might be a little different. It's a different you coming back. And it might not be in the positive direction, but who knows?
Yet these idiots seem to think they are standing on top of some ivory tower looking down at us in the mud. These people who virtue signal, but who don't want to do anything about it because it violates their principles. So basically, just like those people on the lifeboat, they know that if they let all 20 people on the lifeboat, they're all going to die. And yet, they're too scared, too cowardly, and they're too principled, in air quotes, to actually get their hands dirty and...
I don't see how that's cowardly.
I think it takes more courage and more bravery to not kill. Like, I totally 100% agree with what you said. To not to.
Isn't either burying or throwing away your ideal self, isn't that the easy way out?
Yes, it is.
Isn't that the kid who's getting picked on?
Yeah.
And the dad's just, be tough, man, be tough.
Yeah.
And now he pumps his chest up. All right, I gotta be tough now.
Yeah.
Or Neo, free my mind. What does he say?
Okay. Gotta free.
Yeah.
It's like, I gotta do this.
I'm going to
free my mind.
I'm going to egotistically will myself to do something which is against all my other senses.
If anything, just
all
like
myself,
that.
Yeah.
It's like, the little boy gets picked on, and you ask, like, what should I do? And the mom says, let's say hypothetical, mom or whatever the fuck, doesn't matter. One parent says, you know what to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Versus, punch him in the fucking nose. It's like,
To where your fight or flight instincts kick in, and yourself's like trying to tie lassos around your ego, like, come back. And your ego's just like cutting all the lines off. Now you're just like a cold body walking.
So are we really going to bury our morality and consciousness to really justify something that's no different than what's going on, you know?
Yeah, you turn into a cold body just walking.
Yeah, it's like, I heard Richard Nixon say something. It's like, you got to be cold. You got to make decisions. You got to, don't look at the heart, you got to look at the head. You got to make cold decisions. You got to be cold to be a leader. It's like, what the fuck? No.
And there's nothing wrong with cold, by the way.
No, I meant empty.
For all the
empty.
For all the woo-woo guys out there, guys and gals.
I meant we have to be rational here, okay?
Yeah.
You gotta be rational about this.
I think empty would be a better word.
I'm trying to equate, hey, whatever. it's the words that they use.
Yeah.
So the guys, you have to be rational here. It's like, no, we're being cold and empty. That's what we're being. We're being robots. Listen, you have a 20% chance of survival. He has a 5. I'm taking you. It's like, what? No.
It's like,
absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like,
you must bring yourself, or there's no you to be actually rational. It's like, no, it's not you. It's your ego.
Not only are we like,
it's your ego and
justifying killing people, we're justifying killing ourselves as well. Let me just, you can't see it, but I'm taking a knife and I'm just stabbing myself away. And
I might be leaning towards the darker side.
Either or, it's gonna.
They might have, which, my opinion, might be worse, which is apathy towards yourself, which is, I'm just a walking biological machine. There's nothing else going on. Why would I be angry at myself? I might like the person who's like, fuck, I fucked up again. Fuck.
No, I like that.
Up.
I like that. No. I meant with doing these things and like, guys, like, I'm justifying it. I'm justifying it. That's let me just tear up everything that is me, crumble it up, and just tuck it away. That's what we're doing here,
Yeah.
Did we it's a really great scene that comes up in mind because he mentions a fucking ship, Titanic, Dark Knight. The Dark Knight. You have one boat full of criminals, convicted criminals. It's led to believe. I'm pretty sure in the movie it's like, oh, they're convicted murderers. They know what they did. They're being transported on a ship, and you got a bunch of passengers on a ferry boat. Well, my bad. They're both ferry boats, I think.
Yeah, one's civilians, one's prisoners that they're trying to get out of the city.
Yeah,
like if shit goes to hell and those prisoners get loose in the city, we're fucked.
Yeah.
So they're like, let's get these fuckers out of here.
Yeah. And then the Joker has 2 bombs that could sink the prisoner ship and the passengers, the civilians of the city. And he gives them the choice, kill the other before you guys die. And what happens? His theory that they'll do it, you'll see. They'll eat each other, these people, in the end. When push comes to shove, when shit hits the fan, they'll do it. They'll push their friends in the way of the monster truck so they can get out of the way and it's faster in time. You know what I mean? And what happens? Didn't happen.
But yeah, James, that's from a movie, though. That's not real life.
You know what's real life? Ideals. An idea that speaks louder. Something that transcends the movie.
Yeah, go watch your favorite movies. There might be something in there that's trying to say something to you.
That's what people don't understand. That these movies... Oh, it's a Batman movie. Listen, it's a fucking idea, first of all.
Yeah.
It's an idea. Forget the fact that it's Batman. Okay? It's an idea that transcends the movie itself, and it has a message to you, the viewer. Did we miss this? Oh, I get it. It's Batman. I understand. No. Unbreakable moral. That's what that dude has. What's the saying? An unstoppable force meets an immovable object. That's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Even fucking Jay-Z's song.
Which one?
Holy baby.
Which part?
The hook.
Ah, yes. Yeah. Yes.
Can't touch the untouched.
Yes.
Break the unbreakable, shake the unshakable.
Yep.
It's like, do we, do we ever like just stop and think about these things? What is truly absolute good? You know, what is it?
Our video might get flagged for you.
I don't give a shit.
Repeating Jay-Z lyrics.
Now I'll wake up with half a foot. You know, it's like you'll get the other one half when you pay me 5 cents for that. 5 cents. Beyonce wants 7 cents because she can. But yeah. But no. We have to justify tyranny. Hey, you know what I've been told? It's either you or the other guy. I'm like, guess what? No thanks. Nope.
But James, we wouldn't have all these advances in society like technology, and we wouldn't have roamed the world to where we can all connect with each other, unless, few million had to die first.
They're mere toys.
I mean,
they're toys. That's what they are. This, okay. You know what's weird? That people still die from hunger, but I have this fucking thing. Okay, okay.
Made of parts.
We as a
people die from.
If we're measuring technology as far as like all that stuff, as far as like a growth rate,
yeah,
should go through the roof. Like, oh my god, I didn't like if you look at it in a way, it's funny. I remember when I was a kid, we had phones in the wall, and we still had the little fucking cord,
Mm-hmm.
Even at 9 years old, even when that was gone, people still had house phones. This shit was a flip phone, Now it's a fucking mini computer. Like it's then you go back 100 years. And 100 years before that, you compare them, major differences. But as far as this past, like maybe I'd say 40 years, like as far as technology, it's been insane. But what has been a standstill? What has been kind of steady and flat and lukewarm?
If you ask me, I would say the same elements that were around with like probably the first people are still going on now.
Sure.
Things like anger, happiness, hate, love. Those components are all still there. They may be expressed differently.
Sure.
Maybe instead of bows and arrows, it's nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
But it's still the same.
More toys. More toys. Yeah. Instead of a bow and arrow, I now have a gun.
Chris P says Joker would have blown up both in real life. You would have tried to, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna throw Joker in his life, you might as well throw Batman in too.
Batman would be like, nope.
They are the same person.
Because we all have everything right.
The self and the polar opposite. But alright, let's continue with this.
We have the mirror. Show a smile. Smiles back at us. Alright?
Yeah.
So?
Alright. More monkey business.
Yeah. Save their own lives.
Pause.
If left up to them, all 20 people would be left on the boat and they would all die. And actually, what's amazing is to some people, that is the correct moral answer. To simply do nothing and let everyone die. That is the correct response. Because if you do anything, you're breaking the principles. See,
your weak moral principles, yes.
Taking a moral stance is doing something.
Weak. The weak ones.
You're not a hero, man. You didn't save any babies. What's wrong with you? It's like, that's not what it's, it's an internal archetypal stance. It's not a title. You didn't go to class and get a PhD. They pin a thing on your chest that says PhD. It's an archetypal type thing.
So this is why the hero, and then the champion titles would come into play now.
Yeah.
The hero by accident and the champion that knows what he is or what they are and why they do the things that they do versus, I had to save the ship and it was sinking. You saved 30 people. Oh, I did? Oh. Oh. you're a hero. Versus, oh no, man, I have to say the shit, people are gonna die.
Yeah.
Putting yourself at risk.
And you can even use the same movie, Titanic, where the captain's like, I gotta go down with my ship. I can't be on any of the survival boats. I can't do anything until everyone else is good. Then maybe I'll find a life raft. But until then, I have to go down with my ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dharma principles are the most important thing. If you violate Dharma principles, you are evil. And it's better to die a completely preventable death than to step over that line and violate my principles and become evil.
The actions are evil. The individual, however, I wouldn't say evil. I would just say ignorant, neutral, silly.
Yeah, I would just say that, no offense, just the typical person, when they haven't taken a step towards existential understanding, to where they're still, it's almost like they're fresh out of the womb as far as understanding moral principles. They were the same moral principles that they had when they were a little kid. Yeah, they just,
yeah, really.
they may put fancy clothes on it, but it's
Sure.
still the same thing.
You've gotten older. You have more clothes. You probably have more money. And if you don't have more money, you've gotten older. You're able to speak a different language. Mm-hmm. By different language, you mean a different lingo. You know, when you're a little kid, and you have all the adults sitting at the adult table, and you're trying to figure out what they're talking about, what the importance of it all is.
Yeah.
But now, you just got older. Now you can understand it. But you realize, oh, it's not really that different. You know. Sometimes. Hopefully, I hope it is. You know.
You just have the basic moral principles. What I would say are innate. But I would say so are the other ones, but you have to take a step towards some sort of existential understanding. Otherwise, you're just sitting on the ego level with just the typical morals, which is what we call laws. What we call, like, judicial laws and all that shit is the rudimentary, simple, ego level principles
it's
and
like,
morals.
It reminds you the Ten Commandments.
Yeah.
It's like, thou shalt not kill or steal. It's like, why? Why shouldn't I do that? Because it's here. Because
well, I think they innately understand it's wrong.
I understand. You know what I mean?
But that's as far as they go. Like,
yeah.
This doesn't feel right. Or I feel shitty doing this. Or this or that.
Yes. But then some people, when they're asked, you know, it's like, it's not good? Good? No. Now what? Versus, well, if I kill him, someone's going to try to kill me. Or I'll get thrown in jail. I don't want that. Or the whole theory, the veil of ignorance. See, I wouldn't want that done to me, so I'm not going to do it to him. Like, what?
And that's what the Joker was getting at in the Dark Knight films. He's like, your morals are weak. I can break these down. Yeah. But then he meets Batman, and he's like, I think we're destined to do this forever.
He said, you are truly incorruptible.
Yeah. We're destined to do this forever.
Yes.
Which is...
It's true.
Archetypally, what happens?
Well, yes. There will always be an opposing.
No, let's say you come up with a good idea, there's always a polar reaction.
No, that's what I meant. There will always be a.
Yeah, it's woo-woo though. It's not real.
Wait.
What?
Woo. Woo. Gotta hold these alligators down, man.
I learned my information from a guy who learned his information from a guy who learned his information from a guy who learned his information
There's
from a guy.
Look, let me make something clear.
Now I'm repeating it again.
There is nothing.
But twisting it a little bit.
There's
so
nothing
it sounds
wrong.
like unique.
There's nothing wrong with taking content.
No, there's nothing.
Hold on. Nothing wrong with taking content and like obviously observing the meaning of which has been given to you, but then like deciphering it, whether it's like, do I agree with this? Do I not agree with this? Versus just straight up copying. So when I say, and I was about to say this is why shadow work should be like just one of the most important things people should do, in my opinion.
Oh,
And I use the same term as the Tessarian, because it is like an in-depth look within yourself, the shadow. Like, do you even have one?
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Well,
self-explanatory.
Let me put things this way. I think guys like this, no offense, I think they come up with an intuitive idea of the world or of something, of a topic or anything. They can't quite, so this is going on subconsciously, they can't quite understand how they arrived at this idea. So what they do is they look out into the world and start pulling ideas in and using those to, let's say, Lego connect for their idea. They're Lego connecting their tower. Even though the idea came from almost nothing in the first place. Like, it's just oh shit. Like, there was one of those lights going off, light bulb going off moments.
An idea of an epiphany.
Yeah, I need to explain how I arrived here, so I'm gonna fill it up with all the world's content that agree with it.
Yeah.
This or that.
Yeah.
All right, onward. Yeah.
And when you save them from themselves, when you do what they lack the courage to do, they will judge you and they will betray you, the very person who saved them. Now, returning to our lifeboat scenario, as the person who took matters into their own hands, who saved the life of the other 9 people, so that at least some people would live, you saved the most amount of people you could, but sacrifices had to be made, and you were willing to get your hands dirty to do it. And you...
What is your better moral judgment in that scenario? If you truly looked in depth with looking at your own moral intelligence there, you'd probably take the steps of, okay, we're in a shitty scenario. We need to make sure the most amount of people live. Then something counteracts that moral question. The Joker questions that moral thing and says, well, who's more valuable than the other one?
Mm.
And then it should eventually lead to, we need to save everyone by any means necessary, which is not some cowering, I'm scared to do this. It's a fucking stance. It's we need to save everyone.
That alone, even the idea of it, takes more courage than that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, hands down, 100%. That is the easy way.
That's the pure baby level flat line.
Look, again, no offense, but I've seen it before and I heard it before. Sometimes you gotta do things, you gotta get your hands dirty. You know what, man? No.
I'm not even sure if these guys believe it.
I hope not. It's the kid, or it's
they
like
could
this.
be so frustrated with things ain't working, so we gotta go by force. That's how history's worked. Whoever had the biggest army, or whoever won the war, won the history books. So we want our idea to be the thing at the forefront. We need to win some sort of war somehow.
I'll combat these ideas until I don't know how long.
And I'm alright if it stays on an ideological level, as long as it's not physical violence. If they're just warring with words, I'm like, oh, it's easy. It's patty cake. Because one day, someone who's a little more...
There's always a test.
Someone a little more existentially mature is going to step in and say, what the fuck is this? It's like, who are you, man? Who are you? I'm Bob, and that's your name. Who are you? I work right at the grocery store. That's your job. Who are you, Bob?
Yeah.
And then it's just...
It's... It will always... be the guy that doesn't do that. Always. Or a person.
Thank you, Mr. Spinks. We love Monkey here. You gotta get that monkey, Joe Rogan. Grab him by the monkey.
Uncle Joey.
All right.
Yeah. Hear the other people talking about turning you in for murder as soon as you're rescued. What would you do? I'll tell you what I would do. I'd kill them too. I would be chilling out on the lifeboat all by myself until I was rescued. When they asked me, oh, what happened to the other passengers? These lifeboats can hold 10 people. And, you know, they all died. It's crazy. Who knows? You know, the fucking ghost got them in the night. Now, you can judge me and call me a monster. You know, now I've killed 19 people. I didn't want to kill anyone. It's just the restrictions of the lifeboat necessitated that at least 10 people had to die. And then, now that the other 9 are talking shit, I had to kill them too. Judge me if you want. That's just the way things are.
Stop it. Oh, hell no. Look, he's not a monster. Okay? I'll never call anybody a monster. Shallow, ignorant, silly, or neutral? Yeah, I will. This is sad.
Well, let's go to the foundation of what you're really saying, which is, I'll never place someone beneath me.
No, I will never do it.
That's basically what you're saying.
And if I ever seemingly done it in the past, it was from a point of, do you even know what you're doing? So how can you really be doing that?
Yeah.
But at this point now, no one is beneath anybody. Because we all have everything. So how can you? You know?
I'm trying to remember something Tessarian said. That was interesting. I like the way the words he used. It was it was simple. Just no one above, no one below. Yeah. No one I praise you, and no one like you're a piece of shit down here.
No, that's why I always when I understand the social, he's being a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Versus, dude, you are a piece of shit and nothing more. It's like, stop.
Yeah.
Or if we're talking about someone else, like if someone else says like group people, they're pieces of shit. It's like, no, they're not. No, stop.
That's the anger.
Let's stop here.
That's the anger throwing lassos at the ego. Like, come back.
Like who let you talk? Like,
Observe me.
Who let you say things about people like this? You know, they're people, man.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. The example you bring up, Larry Nassar.
Larry Nassar, right? The Olympic, you know, or like a PT or trainer. No, PT doctor.
Yeah.
That looked after, cared for these young girls, or maybe others. I'm pretty sure it was girls.
I'm pretty sure it's just the girls.
He fucking molested them for years and years and years and years. I'm pretty sure. And just recently, as in within the past year and a half, he got caught and he got taken to trial.
Mm-hmm.
And these people took the stand.
Most notably, Ali Reisman.
I think so.
The one that called him a monster.
He was called a bunch of things. But someone said, well, yeah, the monster thing. I'm like, no. As tough, I understand the situation. It's horrible. He was not a monster. And someone said, you'll be in prison while rotting away while I'll be out here moving mountains. Like, what the fuck does that do? Does that make you feel better? You'll be dying in a box while I'm out here free. It's like, what does that do? You know what that sounds like to me? Like a different level of, did this older boy beat you up, Billy? Yeah, Dad, he did. It's like, guess what?
Yeah.
Like, do you ever step back to realize why this happened? Why these things happen? It's a person, okay? And as soon as we realize we all have everything, you know, and it's a spectrum, then we soon realize not to immediately fucking just give up on people. Oh, you're a monster. Goodbye.
Also, for practical reasons, look at, the ghettos of the United States.
Sure.
They're like, you guys are over here. And if you just look at it practically, you can see the social implications of that, the social ecosystem, and how these things can ripple through. Yeah.
I could go more into depth with that whole situation scenario, but I don't really need to.
Yeah. All right.
Libertarians themselves admit there's going to be people who are going to have to get their hands dirty in order to accomplish anything. And yet they're fully willing to immediately throw them under the bus and arrest them and try them for the necessary crimes that were necessary to save everyone, to preserve their freedom and lives.
Wrong. Wrong.
We should be thanking George Bush then for preserving our freedom by murdering and torturing people.
You can never justify tyranny. You can't. That's like saying, listen, I did good by doing this. Then you don't know what good is. You don't know what the whole foundation of good, with absolute, just like the truth. It's absolute. There's no ifs and or buts about it. There's nothing that can, well, there's a technicality. It's like, no. Absolutely not. It's just like this. It's like a billionaire who is just saving face to donate to a fucking poor orphanage. Oh, he did a good act. That must mean, oh, look at that. But why did he do it? Okay? Listen, the byproduct of what happened, good for them, you know. Look at that. The donation.
It's Corbett Report, How Big Oil Conquered the World. He talks about like the founding like Rockefeller guy. And he was making so much money, but he wanted to save face of all the shitty things he was doing, so he'd hand out dimes in the street, which was like a good amount of money back then.
Yeah.
So just he'd bring like photographers over and like, hey guys, I'm handing out dimes. See me?
You can't. It's just like this. And another thing, we invaded Iraq or Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Soldier saves a boy from a crossfire happening, whether it was an occupied territory by some like warlords, whatever have you. And the soldier saved the boy's life. You know, it gets highly publicized. You know, the soldiers just, oh, I see a kid. You know, I'm gonna act.
Yeah.
But why are we there? You know.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
And all the chain reactions that caused the perfect melting pot for war in the first place.
That's what I'm getting at. This has been going on for years and years and years and years, okay?
Yeah.
Some sort of advancement. You know what? I think people are getting more... There are people out there, but it's still staggeringly just fucking like a deadline, like, boop, like just, you know...
What I think is happening is people are just becoming more comfortable with it.
Oh, complacent.
They're comfortable with their, you know, flatline existential experience.
This is growth as well.
I get coffee at the corner store every Tuesday.
Listen. I just want to have my toast, my TV, my cereal, and leave me alone. Look, you know, I can't. This is ridiculous. Really, I'm not kidding. You know.
I do want to add that these, from what I see, taking a philosophical slant, that, you know, I can see these archetypally as something that can be healthy, but it has to be on an ideological level. You know, when, let's say, you know, the priest comes out yelling, you won't be saved unless you, whatever, get baptized and follow the ways of Jesus. Well, a better idea should step up and be like, no.
You know, the funny thing is, I don't follow religion. I am spiritual, but no religion. But I do remember, you know, finding like how the priests were accepting coins and all that, collecting. Jesus ran up there and like slapped it.
There is a hierarchy of ideas, but there isn't of people. There is no hierarchy of people. There is no, this person is, you can probably see that, this person is better than this person.
No, just the ideas.
Yeah, their ideas might be better.
And here's the thing. You ready? Here's the people. And there could be ideas. You know?
Yeah. And those
That's
ideas,
That's it.
and I would think a lot of the ideas are morally driven.
I would agree.
Those are the drivers of what goes up,
Sure.
what goes down.
Even if they're conditioned.
Yes.
Hey, I was conditioned to, it was weird. It's like yin and yang in a way. But I want to compare it to that. It's like polar opposites. James, just, you know, do the right thing. You don't need to hurt anybody. punch him in the nose and tell him to fuck off.
Ah, you've been blessed then, because then you can see see the.
It's already there. I just get like an external voice telling me that.
You can see the blatant dichotomy going.
Sure,
on.
sure. And there's always one I was never comfortable with.
Yeah.
Just naturally, it was. That doesn't sound right.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, ooh, let me cause him pain. I had to do it. There's 3 of them. You know, I had to stop them, and I had to show him that he can never do that to me ever again. I had to. It's like, why are you justifying it? Feel bad about it?
Yeah. Also, we're talking about what you might call a closer to what the film meant when they used the term red pill,
Right.
as opposed to getting your dick touched.
Yeah.
Just being honest. All right. Yeah.
Now, when they turn on you and start killing you for betraying them, you have nobody to blame but yourself. Nobody. You literally made enemies with the people who had the power, the knowledge, and the will to act. What did you expect to happen? Now, I do have a solution. There's really only 2 solutions to this problem. You have to force the people in the ivory tower to get their hands dirty. You have to force them to. You can't just solve the problem yourself, even if you have the power to. If you solve the problem yourself, the very people you saved will turn on you because of my principles. So you have to force them to get their hands dirty too.
1, you can't force them. 2,
Yeah. But
I mean,
what ideas are you talking about? What ideas are you talking about? I don't know. Anything else?
he offers this. He said, "This is. I'll give you a solution." You offer no solutions. Okay, these are not solutions.
Yeah. You're offering a solution where you won't be present. There won't be a you there. There will be, but there won't be.
There's someone that looks like you, talks like you, ready? Look like, same clothes and everything, etc., right? The you, though, is way back in the corner watching it all happen while you're beating your chest. Just saying, that's what you're doing. Let's say you're killing these people, right? You're getting them out of the boat, whether the only firearm is in your hands and you're offing these people because you heard them conspiring or against you. Like, he murdered all these people. Yeah, we have to. Well, I can't let that happen. As you're doing that, the you is way back there cowering, watching all this horrible shit happen. And then you can compare that to this, when those guys come back to war. From war, my bad. When they come back from war, and they're fucking different. That shell shock.
Unless you buried your conscience a long time
Sure.
ago. And maybe you'll be like...
Then you'll be seemingly, to the naked eye, not phased. Versus when you come back and you look fucking spooked.
Yeah.
Like, you look like someone...
Your fucking
ready?
eyelids drop like down here.
Sure.
You're sagging right here.
It looks like, the appearance of you being awake for 3 days. Like someone just took... It's like... It's like you're missing a part of yourself, and that's kind of what it is in a way. Oops.
Alright.
Again, no solutions at all.
No plausible, no practical, nothing healthy sounding at least.
Horrible.
Maybe you're being facetious though, who knows?
I would hope so.
Alright. Yeah.
You have to say, I will not save your lives unless you also get blood on your hands. Everyone has to get blood on their hands together.
Then you're not saving them.
That way nobody can be like, oh, my hands are clean, I'm going to turn you in. You have to suffer for your crimes. No, we all get blood on our hands, or option 2, I kill you all. Those are the options you have.
No, they're not.
No?
They're not.
Alright, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Principles and your bullshit will not matter when push comes to shove.
Yes, they will. 100%. Always, without a doubt. They always matter. Whatever scenario, on the spectrum or scale, whatever, they always will matter, okay?
Because it's you.
Yes.
It's essentially saying you matter.
these weak solutions.
Think of yourself in your most comfortable moment where you're in a safe bubble and nothing will happen to you. That's where you develop morals and principles at, I would say. Right? You sit and you're comfortable and you can say this is right and this is wrong and I can always follow this because I'm in my comfort spot.
At times.
Yes.
Let's say you're in that horrible shitty scenario where you finally see.
No, I'm saying you're just talking about you're in your bubble and you're nice and comfy and you can, let's say you're gonna draw up morals for the world. Like no one will harm you, no harm will come to you. You probably come up with some legit fucking moral rules or whatever. And that is the closest form of you. When you're just comfy, there's no fight or flight instinct going on to where it's like, oh shit, I'll make this decision over here because I'm worried about this hurting me. You're just comfortable in your comfortable bubble. That would be closest to the truest form of you.
I would say everybody.
That is the truest.
Well, I would say I would agree, and I'd say everyone has that. Everyone.
Yeah,
and to offer these weak.
It's closing your eyes and saying, what would I do with $1 billion? Or if I had all the money in the world, I never had to worry about anything ever again. Like, I have infinite money, so let me help out this charity or something like that. It'd be like, those are where your morals are sort of created.
But these are nothing more than a very, very unstable pillars where it just takes. Yeah. And here goes the fucking castle. You know?
So essentially, you are your morals and your principles. They are you.
Yeah. And I'm not going to die just so you can sleep better at night. I know a better way to help you sleep.
Ego.
Is this turd flinging?
Ego.
Again, maybe it's like, I will not die. Well, like, maybe you already did.
See, the ego associates with the body until the self says, sit the fuck down and listen to this. You're gonna learn a lesson. You're gonna listen.
I think most people don't understand what the self is.
And then you hear people. That's when you hear people saying like, "Oh, well, there's no reason to fear death." That's when that shit comes out, when the self sits the ego down, and you sort of the fight and flight instincts sort of fizzle a little bit. You still have them, but they fade a little bit. You know, if there's a tiger, right? You're like, fuck. I mean, that's fight or flight instincts. Or if someone's punching a baby, you're like, fuck. Fight. But they fizzle as far as it's me over everyone because this body's the only thing I have. And when this body goes, I go too. And that's all I have.
It's ridiculous.
Jesus calls it poverty.
the rich man who has no money. So I'm very wealthy. But sir, you're in rags, sitting on the street. Oh, that's what you mean.
And he says something to the effect of, I'm not religious, by the way.
Me either.
I think he says something to the effect of, if you like invest in poverty, then you become poverty. I don't think he's talking about himself. I think he's talking about the ego.
I champion the ideas, metaphors, stories. You know, they are there to what? Decipher, look into.
And that's in any arena, not just religion.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah. Monkey, thank you.
Chris P says, if you're asleep, you have fight or flight. Pacifism doesn't exist. I agree with that, but I look at them as archetypal things, as in you can still have anger without punching someone in the face.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
It's an archetypal thing. You still have fear without either running away or running into a fight.
Yeah.
You bring yourself into the scenario and you make your moral decision. It's like, fuck, that guy's beating up a baby. I'm gonna go stop him.
Yeah, versus I'm not
gonna punch him until he's dead
yeah.
and brainless, but I'm gonna try and stop him.
Yeah. Now I can be so angry to where obviously I can see someone just, you know, taking some blunt object and slamming it against something else. being like just, or the guy that's just like, oh, I'm so fucking mad. That's so horrible.
Yeah.
You know, but it takes what? The guy that doesn't do that. You know, the guy that doesn't hurt the other person because I'm so angry.
Yeah.
Because you did this shitty thing.
Because they bring their whole selves there. They bring, they bring the anger. That's okay. Anger's a healthy thing.
Yeah.
But they also bring their principles. Those are both aspects of
And
themselves.
it is not weak to, like, just push them aside.
Push them aside, I gotta fight.
That's the easy thing. That's the easy thing to do. Hands down, 100%. That's the easiest thing you could do.
Yeah.
And to say that it isn't is like just neglecting a part of yourself that maybe you never looked at.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't know what this is. It sounds like just justification for whatever, you know?
Hopefully he's partially joking and just exaggerating for
I would really hope so.
audiences or for whatever, for status.
Hey, man.
Like I seem tougher now, but or something. I don't know.
We've all been there.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Fuck. So all right, let's watch the rest of this video.
Right.
Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Fuck. Bit of water. Yes. Is there lemons in here?
Yes. Dude, there's a shaker in there. You opened the fucking bottle.
Yeah, I know.
Don't worry, that's on video.
No.
No. 2 videos ago.
Pulling this video down.
Two
Editing that out.
2 videos ago, I did the same thing. You seem to go like, you don't even notice. You're just like, I can't wait for, hopefully, the commander comments. But
Yeah. So
again, this title of the video was what? Principled cowardice.
yeah.
He's got it whole thing backwards. It's the cowardly thing to do to justify tyranny. That is it. That's the truth. It, like, hands down.
Trigger warning.
Hey man, I hope it does. To anybody, you know, even if he doesn't respond, you know, as long as this gets out there somewhere, because you know what, I would have loved to hear this when I was younger.
Yeah. Turd Flinging Monkey, if you ever watched this video and reached this part of the video, I would say try doing some existential work. And then see what it, like if your ideas are 100% solid and they're the truth and that's the way it is, you'll walk out the same you were when you went in, man. But I doubt that.
You got nothing to worry about, yeah.
Yeah, you have nothing to worry about. This isn't like you have to do this.
No, I'm not. No. I'm not saying he has to. I'm saying he's wrong.
Yeah, 100%. I'm saying.
I'm not like just like him saying like, you have to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to get your hands like. First of all, I can't force anybody to do anything. They don't have to do anything that they don't want to do, and that's that. Even though at the end,
just a recommendation.
even at the end though, people will see. And by the end, that doesn't mean the end of the physical life. Because when I fucking say that, people assume, oh, he means when I'm dead. The end of my physical life. Like, no.
There's a new comic called The New World. You guys might like it.
Ooh.
The New World.
Ooh. I'm excited.
For some reason, the first thing that popped in my head was Brave New World, which is very interesting.
No, it's a whole new world. A place I know, whatever, some I never knew. It's like, get the fuck off my carpet. Like, ah!
Alright, it's late. I think we said what
Here
we
in
wanted to say.
Antarctica.
Here in Antarctica, it's
Yep.
kind of late.
Yep.
Gotta do some weightlifting tomorrow.
With my brain.
Yes. Intellectual weightlifting.
Yes.
And
With the mind. That's what it is, right? It's all about the mind. It's all about that.
I'm gonna do the Lionel Nation thing.
The what?
I don't know if you know his video.
What?
I stopped watching him a while ago.
What?
Lionel Nation.
Yeah.
Where he's like, Don't forget to subscribe. Like the video. And comment as you see fit. I'm nowhere near the exit button.
Oh.
I'm nowhere near the stop the stream button. Oh, and I was lying about giving us a like. Give it a thumbs down, bitches.